Today we got something special for you guys. I'm going to review 2 boxes as well as give you some video footage of my catch this weekend. This right here is the Trout Box, and I've just started getting into trout fishing quite heavily this year, and so I'll open that up at the end of the video. But for now, we're going to start with the Bass Box. And I went to a men's retreat for church this weekend, and they had a great bass lake. To give you an idea of what the water is like, there is no coverage whatsoever. There's like no trees. There's just some weeds in there. No trees overhanging the banks. So it's a very wide open lake, and that might have resulted or caused some of the results in my fishing. But in this box, I'm going to show you some of the things I used. I try to use every single item in this box. The Mr. Twister blue worms here, the little curly tail worms. This was one of them that, I wasn't optimistic about, and I tried and tried and tried with this one, and I didn't catch a single fish. So I don't know if it was perhaps the body of water I was using, or if it was the conditions, but that just did not seem to work for me. I tried a Ned rig with it. I had some of those football stand-up jigs from the last Lucky Tackle box. I tried to have it bouncing across the bottom. I tried to also rig it kind of like a Texas rig, but there was just no luck with these. So that was a little disappointing. The other one in the box, let's see. They also had one of these little treble hooks here with the tail. I haven't decided if I'm going to try to make my own like Meps lure with that, but we'll just come here. So I was going to use it with this fish right here, and I have a pardon me. I have a description right here. Give me your okay. So this is the Catch 22 Forage Threadfin Shad. This retails for $14. And this one did catch a fish. I'll have the footage here in a moment. And it's a little bit different. It has a treble hook here that is attached to this magnet on the bottom. And so what you do is you can thread your line through the nose. It'll come outside the body here, and you rig it right to that treble hook. And then it'll just stick onto there, and then when the fish catches it, this will ride up the line. This treble hook will stay behind in the fish, so it doesn't get knocked off. Really little clever design. This part here is like a little magnet, and you can see it's hooked up to like a little body in there. That's where most of the weight is, and then it moves through the water, and it has a good minnow-like action. And it was a really decent lure. I thought about trying to hook it up with the Mustad, as that is also magnetic, as you can see there. So I didn't try it this time, but I thought about just kind of putting that Mustad on there, maybe just adding like a little bit of flash to it, a little bit of color, So I thought I might see how that goes. I'm not sure why they gave that to me, but maybe it was for that reason. They usually have a reason for that. So let's roll the tape on this one. So hopefully you saw that video there. And so that caught about a 12.5 inch bass or so, 13 inch I think it was. We'll also take a look at these Riot Baits. This is just like a little crawdad. They're kind of like a, if you're familiar with the Z-Man products, it's almost like a peanut butter and jelly color crawdad. And I don't think they put a color on here. But anyway, these go for about $4.29, new for 2017. They kind of have a diamond head shape. It's a lot like a little crayfish. I tried that in the lake. I do have the video for that too. And I caught just this tiny little baby bass. I had it on a little weighted hook, threw that out there, caught a little bass. I don't know if the bass in that lake actually knew what these were, but did catch a fish though, so that's what counts. So roll the tape. So now we got to get to the good stuff here. They had a Livetarget Crankbait. This retails for $13. I have one, but it's a greenish style, and I have not tried that. So after trying this one, I'm thinking I'm going to have to bring it out of storage and give it a whirl, because I think it was my first or second cast. I think it was my second cast. It hit the water. I started reeling it in, and bam, I had a fish hit it. And so that it worked really well. And that was I believe that was a 13-inch bass as well. And when you feel this going through the water, it's just this, just this rumbling in the water. You can feel it. If you are on a dock, you can see it going by you. It has a great wiggle action to it, and you can really hear that rattle. And it caught a good-sized fish. I was very impressed by it. I mean, one or two casts. What I did with most of these baits was try to fish until I caught a fish and then move on to the next one. So this one did catch a fish and I was able to move on. I tried it later on in the morning. Just didn't have any luck. I didn't get to try it a ton. So, but that was a really nice little lure they had in there. Oh, yes. This little guy. This guy is a, what did they call this? This is a Poc'it, no, a Rage Swimmer? No. Is it a Rage Swimmer? No, that's not the Rage Swimmer. This is the Surprise Bait. That's what that is. It's retails for about $8. And this one is a very shallow water lure. It's kind of like a jerk bait, and has some good rattle to it. And a nice coloration. This is not a very deep diver. This only dove probably about 2 to 3 feet. It also liked to ride on the surface there. And I did not catch a single fish. This is the one I really wanted to try to get something on, see something on the surface, but it just did not perform. and I think maybe it was just the conditions I was in. The lake I'm in is a huge bass lake, but I don't think the conditions were right for it. I think if I had some lily pads, maybe a little bit of coverage, I think that'd probably be a killer. But a nice long profile there, good looking lure. And so I was kind of disappointed. I was really hoping to catch one on this for you guys. And then, last but not least, we have a Rage Swimmer by Strike King. These retail for about $5.50, and they have a rib design. And you know, when you throw these in the water, they look just gorgeous, just with their movement. And I needed some weights, you know, to put on those little sliding weights that I can put on my Jimmy Houston hooks. And those worked extremely well. I thought they were a great design. And you could just kind of thread them through the nose here and then poke the hole through the body. Allow me to open it for you. Oops, see. Here we go. So, you know, you just thread through the nose here. And I did kind of like a Texas style almost. And you can thread the hook right through here and out the body. And if you get it just to get it like to pierce the backside, that it can go weedless. And then when you set that hook, that thing just wants to really flip out really easily. That hook wants to just kick out, and you can set the hook pretty easily. So I was very impressed by that design. So it'd be very easy to set the hook on that. It's not going to get tangled up in the body. Really nice fat body, soft plastic, good wobble action. And I was very surprised when I caught my fish on this. It was a 11-inch crappie. The lake that I was fishing is not known for crappie. And talking to one guy, and he's like, yeah, I never known anybody to catch a crappie on this lake. And so, you know, I was really surprised, let alone to catch an 11-inch one. So they did pretty well, and I was kind of surprised he caught a different species. But definitely one that I really like. I'm going to have to get some of those weights for the hooks so it can dive a little bit. But a really nice piece in this box. So take a look at the video. Welcome back, and now we got our trout box. So I'm not as familiar with all the different techniques for trout fishing, so bear with me. If you know how to fish some of these different things with a spinning reel, let me know, because I'm really curious about how to fish some of these. I'm inexperienced. Like I said, this is my first year of doing it, and so this kind of is just a quick showing video of just what I got in this box in case you're curious. I got a Matzuo America crankbait. This is a Nano crank. This goes from about 0 to 3 feet. Let's see if I have the little instruction book in here. So this is the Matzuo Nano series. This goes for about $4. Tiny little crankbait. Beautiful little one. And I've been kind of getting into the trout thing, so any kind of a bait like that is great. This is also a mini crank. It's called a Throwback lure, or Throwback Lures mini crank. So the brand is Throwback, and that goes for $7. Not bad. We have a mummy worm. It's a mummified wax worm, and this runs for $6. It's a bunch of red worms. Let me know how we can use those with a open reel. I think it's just kind of floating it down the stream. Blaze fishing gear, whammy tail, kind of like a little Meps lure with the spinner and stuff like that. I have been using these quite a bit this year, using them for trying to get some salmon as well as the trout, and I've caught, I like them quite a bit. So that one goes for $1.65, which is absurdly cheap. So I'll have to see if that performs. Let me know if you've had any success. The other one, I'm a little surprised. Maybe you guys have an idea of why I would use this. This is a shell bobber for $7. And basically you hook them up and use it as a bobber. I'm not totally sure why I would use this in a river for trout fishing. It seems more like an open lake thing. Maybe you use these on a lake or something like that, or a pond, and trout bite the redworms, and this is the bobber. I'm okay. I was kind of hoping for more of the stuff, the other crankbaits and spinners and stuff like that, but okay. That's kind of a novelty little thing. And like I said, they got the sticker, and they also included a pack of size 14 fine wire round bend trout treble hooks by Mustad. So anyway, got a couple golden tickets and stuff like that for their drawings. These go for $2. So that's just kind of a little sample of what's in a trout box. And I had gotten a deal with LTB for a 3 months, any 3 month subscription, you get a free hat and shirt. So I had to take advantage of that. So 3 months of trout boxes came to about $45. Plus I got some free swag. So not a bad deal if you're watching them. Who knows? Maybe Black Friday will produce some more good deals from them. I don't know. But I know they had a free buff and free hat if you bought any bass box for like 6 months or a year or something like that, 3, 6, or 12 months. So some good deals to be had on LTB right now. Look for their promotions, and that's kind of an idea of what you can see in their trout box. So thanks for watching.